Hello, everybody. Good morning, afternoon, or night, depending on your location in the world. This is the Shotgun Thoughts broadcast coming to you on Sunday, June 4th. Hope everybody had a good weekend. Today, I'm joined by my beautiful, loving wife.
But it's still the weekend,
It is. We're getting through that.
Exactly.
And today, we're going to be talking about having a healthy mind and finding purpose,
That is right.
which can be difficult for a
It
lot of
it that
people.
it is. It
Like,
is.
you get lost in that mundane every day, same routine for a lot of us, especially some people caught in that 8 to 4, 9 to 5
Oh,
type of lifestyle.
tell me about it. I've been there. I'm there actually. I'm tired.
Yeah,
You know?
just entering that world, and it could feel like you've been stuck there for an eternity, no matter how long it is.
Yes.
Could be working a week and just feels like you've been a factory worker
Yeah, and you know
for
what's
your entire
crazy?
life.
When you go to work Monday to Friday, sometimes your employer even asks you if you can work Saturdays. That's so messed up. You see, you're in the middle of the week and you're like, when is this gonna end? And the most fucked up part here in New York City, you work Monday to Friday, sunny,
Yeah, it's beautiful the whole week.
beautiful, the whole week.
Yep.
And you're waiting for rain. Maybe your boss canceled the job or something. No, it's sunny, beautiful outside. You can hear the birds singing. And the weekend, tell me.
Yep, it's always raining.
Always
That's where,
raining.
and the weather the whole time is inaccurate. During the weekend, they tell you that before the weekend, let's say Thursday or Friday, they're probably telling you that the weekend might be cloudy or something like that. Maybe the temperature's dropping. But then Friday morning, they tell you that there's going to be rain on the weekend. Then when you're in the weekend, they're telling you that the week is going to be rainy and dark and nasty. Then the week starts, you think you might have off from work, possibly. Things might be closed down. And then by the time you get to Sunday, the forecast for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is now sunny and the hottest it's ever been, or the
Yeah,
or the worst temperature it can be if it's the winter, or the summer. And
that is
then and
right.
then yeah, it just goes in that spiral. I think anybody who's lived in New York is very familiar with that. We're supposed
And
to.
plenty of other states. I guess also California is like that, right?
Well, I think
I
they're.
heard that it's like that.
I'm not sure, to be honest. I
Unpredictable
know it.
weather, but the weekdays are kind of
I don't know. I know over there it might be more temperate, but
in
maybe
Florida.
there's fluctuations and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not sure. I know that they can definitely have some really bad storms and stuff like that and weather.
Oh,
I don't know. Maybe I'm speaking out of my ass in that.
I
I'm
think
speaking
so.
out
I don't
of. I
know.
don't know. So anyway, let's with all that chaos, there can be a stable footing in all of that. And I think that's where, you have to have goals for sure, because if you don't have a direction and somewhere where you're looking, somewhere to go to next, then you're going to be lost. You're going to be going in circles. So those things can be difficult to achieve. And the first thing, what would you say, babe?
I mean, yeah, everybody has goals and things that they want to do when they grow, maybe 10, 20, 30 years. But when I was a girl, I wanted to become a system engineer, believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah.
And work with computers? You don't
Yeah.
seem like that
I
would.
don't see. Oh my God. I was the best in
No, because you don't
computers.
like Windows. So imagine.
I don't like. Let's
the,
not promote that shit.
it's gonna be
So
difficult working with computers when you don't want to look at a
I
Windows,
know, I know, I know. But anyways, when I was a girl, I wanted to become a software or system engineer, and I had this massive plan of okay, I'm gonna study a few softwares, how to program softwares, right?
hmm
Make programs. And I started studying HTML, HTML.
hmm
5. I remember that was 5. And I started from there. Then I wanted to go to school to finish like a career and everything. And my optimal
Mm-hmm.
goal was go to Japan to study
Really?
AI. Yeah, I
Japan.
wanted.
Well, that would have been the place for that for sure.
Yes, I mean, I was talking to a lot of people with my dad, my mom, and a lot of
You might have been working on Chat GPT right
maybe I would
now.
have created. Who knows? But the thing is that every person change.
Mhm.
At some point, you just you just don't want that. That was just a phase,
Yeah.
and you discover what really is for you in the process of doing what you thought you liked, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And that's when I went to college. I started studying software system engineer, right? And I changed. Like after 5 months, I changed.
So how did you reorient your goal in the
Um,
middle of school?
yeah,
You changed your major,
yeah,
like
I did.
probably a lot of people around the world, especially in America.
Uh,
Especially if you happen to find yourself taking liberal arts
oh, come on.
by some.
That's another thing. That's another 500, like we say in the yard. But yeah, I changed my career in the middle of college, and I was like, this is not gonna make me happy. I projected myself when I was thinking to change my career. Will I really be happy in 10 years working let's say for Google or working for a big company? I don't see myself like in a desk programming stuff. I would be super bored, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
So I wanted to change that. I wanted to be something like more productive, something that I was more in the field, interacting with people and creating my own stuff
Mm-hmm.
for people to enjoy, not only these computer things, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. You wanted to create more tangible products that, like, you could interface with them and see them,
Exactly.
not just on a screen, and like you wanted working components going on.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I talked to the psicólogo, how you say that?
Psychologist.
Exactly, at school, and it recommended me a test. I took the test, and it was like mechanical engineer, civil engineer. I was like, that's it, civil engineer. I'm gonna start from there. I finished college.
But was there a time in the middle where you were very depressed and kind of like you went down, because you were probably, you know, like at a valley before and you wanted to be a systems engineer, then you pursued that, you probably felt like you were at the top of the mountain, you
Yeah,
know? And then what happened after you felt like you were gonna make that switch?
yeah, exactly.
You felt you went
Because I
down,
had
right?
everything projected. I wanted to go to Japan to do this, to
Yeah.
do that. I had everything
So all
planned.
those dreams were like shattered,
Yeah,
right?
that's it.
It's
Like
like a
X.
broken mirror.
Yeah,
Yeah, with
that's
all
it.
those visions in the board and then just crack. It was
Yeah,
shattered.
everything fell, but it was a good one because I just couldn't live with that. You cannot in this life you cannot live with something that you know is not gonna make you happy.
Yeah, that
Even
doesn't
though
fulfill.
yeah,
Yeah.
even though in the moment it's making like a lot of money, like you have you're very successful with your company with whatever you have, but like you're not happy. You don't find yourself uh successful even though you have a lot of money. Anyways, all my dreams were crash.
Yeah. Your dreams crashed. Yeah.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
then I had to create more goals. And how I started, I finished a test and I was like, okay, what am I gonna do? My mother's house, like that's the first thing that I'm gonna do when I graduate. So I started planning the design. I did the design of my mother's house. I knew how I was gonna decorate my mother's house.
Mm.
I was convincing my
So
sister.
was that it was a big inspiration?
Yeah,
So you were convinced your sister?
I convinced my little sister to become a architect, so we could make a company. To build houses, design
Yeah, and like
houses.
almost like a family project. Build a house. Your sister would be the architect, you'd be the civil engineer
Yeah.
or the engineer.
Yep.
Maybe Bella the interior designer or something, Or maybe your mom wouldn't let her do that.
Yeah.
She'd be like, I don't care if I'm not not college educated in interior design. Your mom would just wing
She
it.
would just put her hands on it. Yeah.
Yeah. There's
So
no way.
I plan a few goals to ended up to end becoming
Yeah.
a civil engineer, to finish everything on time, and also to move out of my parents' house because I knew that it was time,
Yeah.
and I was 17, you know. So in life, you have to do that. You have to question things that you're doing, and you have to project yourself. Okay, in 5, 10 years, I'm doing this, but how I'm gonna be in 5 and 10 years? Is
Mm-hmm.
that gonna make you happy? Are you gonna be able to finish this on time? Like all those little things that you have to plan prior, and it's really good when you do it and you're young. The best time is like to teach your kids to predict your goals, to like put everything on paper, even though it sounds stupid, put everything on paper, attach it to the wall or something, wake up every morning and seeing these things that you got to do
Yeah.
when you are a teenager, a kid, because you're gonna have a what's like
An
like
agenda and a list of priorities. You're going to be able to
exactly,
or
yeah,
have that organize your thoughts a
yeah.
little bit organized.
I mean
Yeah.
that's what I think.
Yeah, no, that's definitely, how you want to go through those things because you don't want to throw yourself into chaos. Life can already bring quite a bunch to the party. So, yeah, there's a lot to go over in every day that we're trying to just achieve one of our goals. And God bless and good luck to everybody on their path. And
I mean, I just think that that's the best way to do it. When you have parents that think about you, that want the best for you in your future, it's not only like, oh, you're gonna go to school, we gotta get rid of you
mhm,
during like 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. and then you're gonna come back home and not deal with you. That's not how it is.
yeah. It's important to have perspective for sure because depending on where you are in life, there might be a lot of unjust things that you feel are being done to you and maybe you feel like you're being mistreated, but in almost every situation, how we react to that is more important than what's actually happening outside of us because there's going to be a large variety of things that go on and you're going to encounter them and have to deal with them in a large variety of ways that it might be hard to interpret. So I think at times, we have to take a step back and just like you did with college, you paused for a second and were able to analyze everything that was going on.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's important to really take a step back sometimes. Not only look at your own situation from, we're living that first person perspective. And, through meditation, an important part of that is to stop have nothing going on, and just focus on yourself. And then your surroundings and what's going on around you. And then from your surroundings, you then see yourself. The next step would be to see yourself and further all of your surroundings. So not only do you go from yourself to then your immediate surroundings and what's around you, but then step three is to bring those both together and see yourself and your surroundings, but from an outside, a deeper perspective, and just keep going further and further. And that can transition with us to other parts of our lives because, with ourselves, that's important to be able to see things, but to also be able to put yourself in someone else's shoes and to really, think and experience things and try to work with somebody in a way that you're it's like you're speaking to yourself, like you're in two bodies, and you're trying to convey to that person exactly what your intentions are without giving them something else to ponder. Because language can be very interesting like that when we're trying to communicate, especially about something very important to us or controversial. There can be many difficult topics to that you might have to tiptoe around. But if we really can focus on perspective and take a minute to analyze that, it'll really help us be able to communicate in a more fluid way where the other person doesn't have so many misunderstandings or misconceptions about the point we're trying to get across. And if they do, we need to be able to work back and forth with those things.
Yeah, and I think that that's also how you find peace. If you don't have peace inside and with other people, you are not going to be able to project yourself because you're going to be thinking about these other things that have nothing to do with it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And then, with those two things in mind, having goals and, really planning on how to achieve them step by step, those things plus perspective will help to really bring together that if you follow that path through introspection and really trying to work on everything you can do to make the situation better, you should look back every 10 years and who you were 10 years before, that should almost be a stranger to
Yeah,
you.
totally different.
Like when you look back, you're like, I did that. That was me. I was a pain in the ass. I was this and that.
Yeah.
You should have those transformations in your life where it really is like, wow, I can't believe it.
Like tell me
stages.
you 10 years ago.
Forget about it. 10 years ago, I was still, more like myself than if you were to go from 22 to 12.
Yeah.
From 12 to 22, I think a lot of us could say that was a major shift in who we were. And if it wasn't, then
Something's wrong.
yeah, you might have a big mountain ahead of you coming up.
Yep.
You might be, well, or I should say, you might be at the mountaintop, but you're going to be going down into that valley. So one way, or however you want to look at it, look at that perspective.
That person didn't change anything, that person didn't progress or
that they were not even, self-aware enough to see that they've changed. And I don't even know how that would be like possible to a degree.
That is true. Just how you have to look back 10 years to see the changes that you've done. You have to look 10 years in the future, how you're gonna look, how you see yourself.
Exactly. Everything's got an equal and opposite, and for sure, looking at both sides of the picture, like you don't always want to look back because what's behind us has already happened. We cannot change that, but we can look at that as a template. It's like an artist who, might be not making the best things that he sees in his mind. He's trying to create this picture, but it's not coming out right. But one way that he can help to create that vision he sees in his head is by not only practicing, but by analyzing those mistakes that are on canvas. They're there. He made them already.
Yeah.
There's no point burning that or, looking at it in any way other than let's try to just...
And that's a good thing because there's a lot of people that say, oh, I went to, let's say, cops took me, I went to jail, that was 10 years ago, and now I'm out. People just want to forget about their past, and they cannot do that. That people should do that because they're forgetting where they came from. They're forgetting that happened, that thing that happened, right, is the thing that shaped them.
Yeah,
and that's how they are.
And if they don't remember that history in the past, then they're doomed to repeat it.
Yeah,
for sure. And if you really clear a lot of that fog in your life, and to a degree, not worry about it. Stay focused in the present moment, and really think about what you can do right now. What's tangible? What is a tangible change, a difference that you can make in the current moment? I mean, is your room a mess? Are there things around you that need to be put in place? It all starts with those little things. And the earlier in our lives that we start to realize that just picking up the smallest piece and putting that where it ought to be, even if it's in the garbage and it's not the best place, it really will define that value, that the harder you work in the beginning of your life, the easier it's going to be in the end.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
and having those values, those things ingrained in you as early as you can, it's only going to help solidify your success in life.
I believe that's, I don't know if I'm wrong, but that's how the Asian culture do everything, you
Yeah,
know?
I mean their work ethic is, and their honor and family values and all of that. That's why it's
I
being
mean, look at
attacked
them.
left and
You know,
right.
they're kids and they know calculation, mathematics, like
Yeah, the abacus,
everything.
man. The abacus is like a lost art in the West. For whatever reason, we think we got it right with all our technology and everything. We got these calculators, fucking microchips, batteries, ding ding
Yeah,
ding,
people don't
TI
think.
82.
Yeah, people don't think anymore. It's
Yeah.
just all calculations, applications,
Meanwhile,
AI, chat GPT.
Meanwhile, there's some Asian kid in his basement banging out more math calculations than you've ever done on your calculator in 20 years, you know? It's crazy. It's crazy. It's like,
But the point is that, you know, the harder you work in the beginning, the easier and the faster you're gonna accomplish your goals,
yeah.
right?
Yeah. So, work hard. Work hard while you're young, you got that energy. Trust me, it's going to be a pain in the ass, but guess what? Everything's a pain in the ass. When you're in school as a youngin', I mean, there's not one kid in the world who's not like, "Ma, Dad, I want to work. I don't want to be in school. I don't want to do this shit." And then forget about it. Ask the kid 5 years after that, after he graduated high school,
Oh, I wanna
or
go
I
back.
should say college, because people tend to go to college right after high school nowadays.
Yeah.
But even that, because most people are gonna have to work while they're in college, so you're getting like the worst of both worlds. But that kind of does get you ready for the working world because, oh man, working and going to school, that's intense.
It
That'll
is.
that'll fucking
It
kill you.
is.
So if you can get through that, I don't know, the work world might be kind of easy. But if you just finish public, middle, high school, or I should say elementary, middle, high school, I don't know, man. You're kind of thrown into it after that.
That would be a great video, you know, a great podcast.
Yeah.
Talking about what to do right after high school. Because
Oh.
you don't necessarily need to go to college, you know?
No,
Just
there's
with
plenty
your
of
goals, perspective, you know, you can do all these things without. Anyways, that
well,
can
with
be
the
for another
internet,
video.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
People taught themselves how to build a house, and there's some crazy shit going on.
Trade schools.
Everything is possible. That's not just a cliche that people utter. But it takes the mind to do it. It's not just words. I can tell you all day that this is how it is and this is what you got to do, but at the end of the day you have to feel it from inside yourself. You got to bring yourself to make a change that you believe is possible, because if you don't believe it, very unlikely to happen. You need that driving force behind it, that energy, momentum to really carry you. But with that said, we're going to have to say good night, folks. Appreciate your patience and your time listening, and
Thank you. Thank you very much. We'll be in the next episode. And yes, stay tuned. Subscribe.
thank you very much. Take care. Have a good night.